Good morning. This is Seek the Scut coming to you live with the Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice finale. For real this time, right? We have what I can only assume is less than 2 hours left. And you may be wondering, hey, wasn't this supposed to be done in 2 streams? It wasn't. The third part, which we unfortunately needed, supposed to be done, Thursday? Well, no. Unfortunately, real life decided no. I had a lot of stuff to deal with. And I don't want to get into it. I was going to take a break from this whole thing, streaming, until the end of the year. But considering how much I've been dealing with, I don't want to. I just want to keep doing this because it's fun. And before we get in, I have a notification. Let's check that. What's this? Nothing. Okay. Well, let's head into it. Audio might be a bit different today. And I'm not going to be able to do much about it until we're done here. So if it seems a bit echoey, sorry. Now, as I recall from last time, we were going to... yes, we needed to finish off by discussing the attempt on Amara's life. Yes. Okay, and then I had to stop because I did not have enough time, and then stream got canceled and delayed to now. Okay, I remember now. We're good. Oh, my glasses broke. Okay, that's fine. We'll deal with that later. For now, let's just familiarize ourselves with the evidence, and then we'll hop into it. Okay, so yeah, we dealt with the gemstone. I think everything on this first page except for the photo is dealt with. I still haven't figured out what exactly the relevance of this is going to be. It could just be something to present at the end of the trial, whenever doing present an extra piece of evidence to get a happy ending. But for some reason I don't think so. And we're probably going to get evidence from the previous trial that didn't come to a resolution. That's going to relate to the presence of him in the house that got burned down, and this photo's going to solve it somehow. Probably the guitar. Maybe the hat. Who knows? Now, other notable things. That's not going to be relevant because I don't think... what was his name? I don't remember any of their names. Inga, yes. I don't think Inga was present at the arson event, so that's not going to be relevant. That's is going to be relevant because Apollo and Phoenix are still misplacing when this is happening and who the baby is. So that's going to show up somehow. I don't think the culpability act... actually, this... Oh, are we going to execute the queen, perhaps? Okay, this is going to be used. I assume someone's going to cover for Amara or for someone else, and then they're going to get, defense culpability acted. So that's going to be interesting. Now, the assassination file. This is the important bit. Yep. Slip the sleeping pill, lit on fire, fingerprint had Dirk's fingerprint, or the lighter had Dirk's fingerprints. And Apollo was there. Or not Apollo, Apollo's dad was there, and he was struck in the head, and it burnt all his identity. And we can't do the divination stance because his name was not there. But now we have a name. Oh, that's what the photos were. Gotcha. We're using it to do the divination seance because we have a name and a face. The badge. So we've determined that the badge has no supernatural effects. That's just because Dirk was a ghost. It's probably going to be... This might actually be the thing we present afterwards, because it's mostly symbolic. So yeah, we're either going to be presenting it to Nayuta after the trial, or we're going to be presenting it during the trial to get him to come over to our side, probably. That... I don't think we're going to be channeling the Holy Mother. Obviously, that's what Amara and Garan want to do, and because they're the only ones who could do it. But I don't think it's going to happen, because that seems like the bad ending here. And I think we're done with Dirk's corpse. Alright, everything's been done. I've talked long enough for my throat to clear. Let's get into this. Ah, we're lucky the ambulance made it in time. Oh, who got attacked? I forgot about that. But we've been forced into a recess for now while things get straightened out. Who was attacked? I forgot. Tell me. Say it. I can't believe what just happened. Tell me. Tell me about it. Huh. Do you think Yarn put that guard up to it? Oh, right. The guard shot someone. Who was it? Did it shoot Amara? Yeah, I think the guard shot Amara right before she revealed something important, didn't she? Yeah, that's what happened, right. If she did, she's going to regret it. No one gets away with something like that on my watch. Oh man, it sounds weird talking now that my room's a bit echoier. Poor Queen Amara. Your benevolence? Any news on her condition? She is undergoing surgery at the hospital as we speak. They are giving her a 50-50 chance of survival, though. That Garin! Justice will be served! Why? Why did this happen? Oh, just as we were finally reunited. Oh, Queen Amara. What was that about being reunited? It's nothing. Right. How are you, Hornhead? Dirk-san Madi was your father in all but blood, after all. Thank you for your concern, your benevolence. But I'm fine. Right now, we still have a trial to see through. So that's what I'm going to stay focused on. Hornhead, you are sturdier than your stature lets on. Just don't overdo it, okay, Apollo? Oh, that's his voice. Oh, that's sad voice, actually. Dirk. Not Steve Apollo. Dirk. That was a real shocker, alright. Can't believe the dragon is dead. That's, Say, AJ, I was wondering, when Dirk disappeared after I freed him, that's because Amara turned back into herself, right? Yeah, I suppose so, but I don't know if it was because Dirk's spirit willed it, or if it was a part of Gar and Amara's plan. Man, our dream of revolution. Now what are we gonna do? Is this it? No, make him a martyr. Don't give up yet. There's a very good chance that Garin is the real culprit in all this. And if we can prove her guilt in court... Hey, you're right. That could be just the push we need. The dream lives on. Right? Yes, it does. You know what that means, AJ? The fate of the revolution rests squarely on your shoulders. All in today's work. Who am I kidding? That's a ton of pressure. But this is what Dirk gave his life for, so I have to do this for him. The Honorable Rebel Dirk-san Madi. I would have loved to have spoken with him while he yet lived. Really? Huh? Why not? I mean, he seemed like quite an interesting man. Did she bump her head or something earlier? Oh? Wait. I was thinking that maybe Dirk is her father. I don't think that's the way they're going to go with that. Oh, what am I... I mean, I could. It'd be a bit weird to think that Trucy is related to Rayfa, though. Actually, I guess they wouldn't, because Trucy and Apollo only share a mother. Oh well. The trial is about to resume. The defense is to report to the courtroom at once. Already? After what just happened? The first thing Garin will do is respond to that last accusation. So, you'd better stay on your toes, Apollo. I will, Mr. Wright. Ready or not, Garin, here comes justice! Alright. Here we go. This is probably, or rather undoubtedly, the final session of trial. No recess, no investigation. Just me and the game. Trying to remember Garin's voice, of course. Is there anything else I need to address before this starts? I don't think so. No, I think we can save everything for afterwards. Okay, here we go. Now then, Let us resume today's proceedings. Uh-huh. Well, where's Nayuta? Oh, I completely forgot about him. I was about to say that I was expecting Garan to be doing prayers, and then I realized it's going to be Nayuta, and now he's not here. Okay. I must offer my apologies. I never imagined a royal guardsman would do such a thing. What? He wasn't acting under your orders? How dare you cast such suspicions upon Her Eminence? It's quite all right, Your Majesty. Suspicion is only natural under such circumstances. But rest assured that he acted alone, for I knew nothing of his plans. I don't believe that for a second. Now then, Your Majesty, regarding the murder of my husband, Minister Inga, I would like to offer a new possibility. A new possibility, you say? Oh, I thought we had mostly finished this. Indeed. For during the break, the real killer confessed to me. What? Oh, don't tell me this is Nayuta. Bailiff, call the witness to the stand. The real killer confessed? What she got up her sleeve this time? I have a really bad feeling about this. Okay, that's an interesting way to take this. Oh, yep, there he is. What does she still have over him? God... I mean, Amara is presumably going to die. Or at least the characters should be assuming that. Dirk is dead. Apollo is like he's free to go basically. And well, he will be free to go if Nayuta doesn't cooperate. The only possible thing I could think of is Rayfa. What? He's the one who confessed? Okay, so why does he care so much about Rayfa? Tell me. I would like to find out. Or someone else. Prosecutor Sarmati, you're the real killer? I questioned him during the recess, as I felt that Amara had been covering for someone. So it was that he finally confessed his crime to me. Nayuta, you didn't really do it, did you? Oh? Her Eminence speaks the truth. It was I who killed Justice Minister Inga. What? Nayuta? Okay. This would definitely be a time to be blasting the music, but I guess they don't want to. Peace! Prosecutor Sarmati, are you absolutely certain about this? A confession of this nature is grave indeed. Yes, I am certain. For I killed him by my own hand. At last, the real killer has been revealed. How are we supposed to respond to this? Nayuta, retract your confession, now! Mr. Justice, it is not yet time for your cross-examination. Well, who cares about that? Admit it. It was Queen Garan who put you up to this. She forced you into giving a confession, didn't she? You are out of line, Mr. Justice. Learn some self-restraint. But... Or do you have something that might prove that I did not commit this murder? That is... Oh, I mean, didn't our entire argument hinge on the presence of a spirit medium other than Maya? I don't think you really fit the bill, mighty guy. What do you think you're doing, you idiot? Truly, the truth can set us free. Looks like Garan got to him somehow. I definitely didn't see this coming. Nayuta, why are you doing this? Why would you sacrifice your life to do Garan's bidding? Whatever the case may be, Prosecutor Sarmati, your testimony, please. Okay. I want to know how he's going to place himself in here without getting caught. I could not remain silent while Her Eminence fell under suspicion for this crime. It was I who murdered Justice Minister Inga. He had to die for the future of Kurain. I consider it divine judgment cast upon a fiend who sought to assassinate our monarch. My mother was simply covering for me. I am ashamed I let her go so far for my sake. You do understand what you're doing, right, Nayuta? You're sentencing yourself to death if you're found guilty. If that is the court's verdict, then so be it. I must obey the law above all else. The law, Nayuta? Or the Queen? Enough. This blather has nothing to do with the witness's testimony. Please address any issues you may have during the cross-examination, defense. Oh, I will. I'm gonna blow his problematic testimony to smithereens. Alright, where do we start picking this apart? I honestly was not paying too much attention to it. So let's see, where do we want to start? That's fine. That's not fine, we'll probably have to press that. Sure, go ahead. If that's not going to, it's not going to lead anywhere. Okay, well, I think we should start by pressing the second statement. Tell me exactly how you did so. It's not too late. You can still retract your confession before the verdict is rendered. There is no retracting the truth. One either tells it or does not tell it. It is that simple. Ah! Why do you always have to be so stubborn, Nayuta? I hate how you never listen to reason once you get like this. I think we'll need some evidence before we can get him to retract his confession. Either that, or we'll have to force a retraction out of him by appealing to what's in his heart. It's not going to be easy either way. Prosecutor Zanmari, what was the motive for your crime? I had reason enough to kill Minister Inga. Okay, so we want to go with evidence, is it? Well, a lot of this seems to... Well, none of this individually seems to go against him. The main issue I have is that all of it together goes against him and I don't have a way to present that. So, how exactly do we want to do this? Oh, right, we weren't accusing Amaro, we were accusing Garan. I completely forgot about that until I looked at the photo. Okay, well that's going to be important. Divine... no, that's not anything. Okay, let's see. What do we have that could deal with this? So we're dealing with Inga's death, not Dirk's. Well, that's Alby's statement. Is it relevant? Do we have anything that says where he was? I don't think we do. I think he was just sort of off doing something during this whole thing. Yeah, there's nothing here that places him in the crime scene. Do we just have to present... do we have to press everything? Perhaps. Okay, we'll press everything. Just to get it out of the way. You kept quiet all this time, even though you were the real killer? Yes, and I accept that what I have done can never be forgiven. But I never imagined suspicion would fall upon the Queen herself. Prosecutor Zanmari has placed the future of our kingdom above his own life. He is taking responsibility for his crime and is showing his loyalty to his queen and country. Without a monarch on the throne, Kurain would be plunged into chaos. I could never wish that upon my homeland. That is why I had to let the truth be known. What a bunch of baloney! That could be part of his real motive, though. Or maybe it's just what he's telling himself. I'm gonna ask you again, Nayuta. Did you really kill Minister Inga? Yes. No matter how many times you ask, Mr. Justice, the truth is immutable. Okay. Still trying to think of how I would do this with evidence. I'm still not seeing a way. What do you mean by that? Minister Inga was planning to assassinate Her Eminence in a coup d'etat. Oh god, that background noise got really loud. I hope you can't hear it. I had to nip this evil in the bud, even if it costed me the purity of my soul. So, you're saying that the death of another is a reasonable price to pay to protect the Queen? Long have we remained independent under the authority of our spirit medium queens. We command the people's awe and respect with the power to commune with the dead. Without such a monarch, our kingdom would lose its standing in the world. But if spirit channeling is so important, why did you have Queen Amara perform the rite? I'm afraid my elder sister is quite capricious. She would fulfill her duty only when the desire struck, as sporadic as that was. It was, therefore, something she did on a whim. There was no meaning behind it. A meaningless whim? It's hard to press a statement like that. Now, if I may return to my testimony, I think I am going to press everything, because that seems like a pretty important statement, because it's at least a reason. Divine judgment? Yes, I render judgment upon the minister on behalf of the Holy Mother. Are you saying that the Holy Mother guided you? No. Her Holiness would never condone killing in her name, regardless of the circumstances. Didn't we have the whole thing with the bird lady? Who did kill in the name of the Holy Mother? And the Holy Mother was fine with that? I wonder. As such, I believe my defiled soul will be damned to hell. But I do not regret what I have done. I willingly sacrificed my soul to protect this kingdom's future. Snap out of it already, Nayuta. So, his motive comes from a place of faith, huh? Why does that sound so completely credible when it's coming from him? Well, Amara expressed a similar motive. As for her mercifulness, she is truly deserving of her title. Yes. So, you killed Minister Inga and Queen Amara staged this crime? Is that how it went? Precisely. My mother is as clever as she is kind. She sought to conceal my crime by taking all the guilt upon herself. Yet another lie. I need to poke a hole in his testimony, but how? Nayuta, could it be that you... Okay. I don't think he knew Nina's real identity. You didn't realize that Nina was actually Queen Amara, your own mother? That is not as strange as you might think. Much time had passed since we last met, after all. Right. 23 years ago, was it? When Dirk saved her after the supposed assassination attempt? No, Mr. Justice. It was 15 years ago that Dirk abducted my mother. Uh-huh. That's weird. Are you sure about that? I remember it clearly. I was around 10 years old at the time. Huh. Nayuta, please add that last statement to your testimony. Okay. Well, the photo doesn't say who the baby is, does it? It doesn't. But I still think I need to present the photo. I mean, I don't see exactly what the confliction would be. But we might as well try it, yeah? Objection! You're saying that Dirk made off with Queen Amara 15 years ago? But that's strange, because I heard something very different from Dirk. He said they ran off together 23 years ago. That is impossible. I know for a fact that it was 15 years ago. Well, I have evidence that contradicts your statement. How do you explain this photo? Dirk said it was taken 23 years ago. He said that? He did, but if we take what you just said as fact, then there's something in this photo that doesn't make any sense. And what would that be? This isn't making any sense to me, so I suppose I should ask. What exactly does not make any sense if the photo's only 15 years old? Well, I mean, the baby, right? Because they are operating under the false assumption that the baby is either Nayuta or Apollo. How old are Nayuta and Apollo? 25. Okay, that works. Nayuta, this discrepancy may not be directly related to this case, but I don't think we can simply overlook it either. Dirk said the baby in this photo was you, but that doesn't make any sense if the photo is only 15 years old. After all, you said you were around 10 then, right? He's definitely sweating bullets over there. Over something. I just don't know what. Apollo, if this baby isn't Nayuta... Oh, wait, you don't think... Did Queen Amara have another child while she was on the run? What? And just what if that child were being held hostage? Nayuta, is that why you obey Queen Garen's every command? You presume too much. Ah, and that's why Queen Amara was trying to take the rap as well. To protect this other child. Okay, well they put that together really quickly, actually. Just so entirely based off intuition, it feels like. A child born 15 years ago. They would have to be someone who's around 14 or 15 years old now. This is just a guess. But I believe I know someone who fits the bill. This also explains the strange behavior. This is the child who was born Dirk Queen Amara 15 years ago. It's Raifa Padma Purain. Go ahead and say it, Apollo. All those strange statements she kept making. And how they all make sense. Prosecutor Sanmari, may I ask you something? Of course, Your Benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara and about me? From where did you hear such a thing? From Mother, and only yesterday. Raifa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people, so I told her. I told her what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child. I see. I cannot accept this. Something the matter, Your Benevolence? Queen Amara is lying. It makes no sense. Queen Amara would not have killed my father. Why? Why did this happen? Oh, just as we were finally reunited. Oh, Queen Amara. Okay. You know, I think that's a very helpful flashback. A bit long, though. Now I see, Nayuta. Why you do what you're told? Don't say it. The other child born to Dirk and Queen Amara was... Hold it! Mr. Justice, I believe I know what you are about to say. But I cannot allow you to name an innocent soul as the child of terrible sinners. I thought you might try to stop me. After all, simply revealing this information endangers who you've been trying to protect. I think this should make it clear what I'm talking about. This is the chink in your armor. The reason why you fear your sibling's reputation. Oh, where was this at? I know what it's talking about. It's talking about how parents are considered responsible for the child, or the child is considered responsible for the parent's crime. There it is. Bam. And that is a file full of information that Dirk collected on what happened 23 years ago. Of particular note right now is what's written here. The sins of the father are visited upon his children. This deeply held idea is why you were expelled from the royal family. Which means it wouldn't bode well for your sibling either, if she were revealed to be Dirk's daughter. You became a prosecutor to bring down Queen Garen, but at some point you came to serve the very regime you despised. And that was because the Queen found this chink in your armor. That's how she came to use your sister against you. Nayuta, have you been keeping this secret all this time? Have you been trying to protect me? You are an innocent party to all this. I live only to safeguard the law and serve the country and queen from which it flows. One such as you, who is destined to ascend the throne, need not fret over one such as I. No, I cannot accept that. What you say it's malarkey. Don't you even care what happens to you? Before country, queen, law, and everyone's future, my personal feelings are of no consequence. That is why I resign myself to my fate. I know I must accept the status quo without any thoughts of change. Spoken like a true prosecutor and patriot. I shall continue to rule Khurain until the day Rafa succeeds me, for that is what is best for our kingdom. I know, Your Eminence. Yours is no small sacrifice, but I promise you this. In exchange for your life, the child shall remain safe and the kingdom shall prosper. That is all I can ask for with my meager existence. Nayuta, is this really the new you? Resigning yourself to the will of another and killing any hope you held for the future? No! The Nayuta I knew would never let himself be turned into this. Now, Your Majesty, if you would hand down your verdict. You can say you're simply accepting your fate, Nayuta, but I know that deep down there is still hope in your heart. Oh, Holy Mother, preserve me. It's the kind of hope that preserves through the most desperate of times. And it's what binds you, me, and Dirk together, as a family. I know, because this has demonstrated to me that you haven't lost all hope yet. When you interrogated Dirk, you confiscated all of his possessions and potential evidence. All except this. Did he take your attorney's badge too? No, I thought it strange, but just when it looked like he was going to take it from me, he changed his mind. So tell me, Nayuta, why didn't you take his badge? You couldn't bear to take it from him, could you? And I know why. It's because this badge means something special to us. Hey, Dirk, why do you still wear your badge? You're not a lawyer anymore, right? This badge is my heart and soul, son. I'll never stop trying to realize my dream. Not until my very last breath. A dragon never yields, right? Exactly. Nayuta, Apollo, I vow to restore Khurain's legal system to its rightful state one day. I want to pass on to you a world where you can live free from the fear of tyranny. You may say you've given up, but that's not how it really is it? You never gave up, and you never will, because you still believe that all the wrongs will be righted someday, don't you? You are very perceptive, Mr. Justice. It may very well be as you say. Why did I not confiscate this badge? Even I did not know. Until now. Perhaps I was waiting for him to save me. Save you? Yes, save me. Like he did on that day. Oh, don't make me read out this entire thing again. I remember this. Nayuta, Apollo, hold on, I'm coming. What father wouldn't risk his life to save his own children? Nayuta, Apollo, don't you ever hesitate to call when you need me. Understand? Okay, it's this shorter version. That's nice. Someday, he would come and free our family from the chains of the past. Perhaps deep down, that is what I believed. I believed in Dirk, our father. Nayuta, I knew you. However, it was but a dream. And now that dream has died. Murdered, along with Dirk. So now, as the eldest, the responsibility falls squarely onto me. No matter the cost, I must protect her. Please, try to understand, Apollo. Understand why I shall bear all the sin. It is the only way. But...
Insolence!
You have wasted more than enough of my time, lawyer. Do you not see the futility of your desperate floundering? The immutability of his duty? It is time to accept defeat. But none of the evidence places him at the scene of the crime. You made a point of how it's impossible for anyone to be there, unless they're a spirit medium. Now, watch as the hammer of justice comes down upon your dear brother. Your Majesty, the verdict, if you will. Yes, Your Eminence. Wait a second. What do I do? Does the defense wish to raise an objection? You pressed 2 charges against us. We've only solved 1. There's gotta be some way to save Nayuta. Come on, talk about the other charge. Apollo? It all goes back to that incident 23 years ago. And it's branded him the son of a criminal. So, if we could once and for all prove that Dirk didn't try to assassinate Amara, right, Nayuta and Rafa's father would no longer be viewed as criminal. But I thought there wasn't any evidence left, because it was all destroyed in the fire. And Dirk investigated the matter for years, but never managed to learn anything new. Really? Nothing at all? Could an exceptional lawyer like Dirk try that long and really uncover nothing at all? He had over 2 decades, Apollo. Huh? He's right. I doubt Dirk would have gone to his grave without discovering something new. He must have secretly planted something to topple Garam with somewhere. Take another look at the evidence. You might just find what we need to break out of the situation with there. Got it. Alright, looks like we're about to do a dance of devotion, I guess. If the defense is done stalling for time, I shall now render my verdict. No, wait. About the assassination attempt 23 years ago. The defense has something new information it would like to share. You do? While we had intended to deliberate that case in the course of this trial, Dirk, did you leave something behind for me? Is there some connection I'm missing here? Very well then. What is this source of your new information about the case from 23 years ago? A photograph? Yes. Do you recall the traveling musician who died in that fire 23 years ago? How could anyone forget such a painful chapter in our history? This poor fellow was caught up in the blaze that was meant for Queen Amara. We never knew his identity, though, as his belongings were burnt to ash. Well, about that, the truth is, he was my biological father. Oh? What a coincidence. What? Why, of course, with this photo and her benevolence. Exactly. We might be able to prove Dirk completely innocent, and that would free her from the infamy of having criminal blood in her veins. Because here in Khura'in, we can witness the final memories of the dead. What utter nonsense! Alright, here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. Honestly, I was expecting this to come by a lot faster. I was not expecting the whole Nayuta thing. There was no evidence left in the wake of that blaze. That's what you think. But Dirk went to the ends of the earth to bring this little souvenir back for us. He did? Yes. And boy, is it the best piece of evidence ever. He knew that with it, we'd finally be able to conclusively settle the matter here in court, and save his children. Your Majesty, the defense requests that we hold a divination seance for this new victim. What a waste of time. The events of 23 years past have already been deliberated at length. But wasn't Dirk on trial for that incident as well today? So we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we failed to look into this new lead, would we? As the presiding judge, I will now share my thoughts on the matter. The attempted assassination of Queen Amara is a case we can ill afford to leave open, and I believe that the final memories of the victim will prove to be very important. Therefore, it is the opinion of this court that we should conduct another divination seance. Well, why you?
Your Benevolence. If you knew the full name of the victim seen in this photo, you'd be able to perform a divination seance, right?
Huh, of course. Leave it to me.
Thank you. My father's full name is Jove Justice.
Alright. Okay, final divination seance. Are we going to get the full animation and text, as always? Now, Your Benevolence, please commence the divination seance when you are ready. Oh, full thing?
Oh,
Yep, full thing. So, I actually have something to talk about during this one. So Raifa's little bells, they only ring whenever she puts her hands together to do this, the divination seance, which is cool, right? It shows that she has a level of control over it. Reminds me of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I don't remember what year it came out, but you know, the first one of the old live-action trilogy. But something I think this game would benefit from is if she actually shook her bell, like if the bells made noise whenever she lost composure. Because she very clearly is losing composure a lot, and the bells remain completely silent during that. Actually, that relates to another thing, which is just the general sound design of this game. It's good. I like it. But it's very underutilized. I remember that, realized that in Dual Destinies, that they just don't use the music that much. And they also don't use the old music that much either, because, you know, they use Apollo's music most of the time. But, I mean, especially in this music, it's really good, don't get me wrong, but it's not, like, there's nothing that's high energy, or there's very few that's high energy, which makes the scenes where we're going back and forth, having a real volley without needing to select evidence, a bit underwhelming. And it makes the times when we're just sort of chilling out very empty. Like, sometimes they don't even play music then. And I don't know if it looks like this to you guys, but to me, Raifa's a bit choppy. On stream, at least. That's the reason we haven't gone back to our other games, by the way. Because high FPS seems to be destroying the stream recently. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm hoping to have it done, like, and figured out by January, so we can actually start doing things other than Ace Attorney, since we are starting to run out. But who knows? If it doesn't work, we'll pick another visual novel, and I'll keep working on it. Now let's see, what do we got? Already in the fire. Mara's down. Baby's crying. Pain. Well, that's not right, unless something dropped on you. Oh, well, we see a hand in the mirror, and we see a lighter. And you're reaching for... Is that Baby Apollo? That's not Baby Apollo. What am I talking about? I saw the like, what looked like brown hair, and for a second, I thought it was Apollo. That doesn't make sense. Duh. It's... The spirit of the victim has granted us a window into his final moments. It would appear the divination seance was a success. Huh. So, those were my father's final moments. That baby we saw must have been you, Apollo. Oh, it was Baby Apollo, I was right. I will now decipher the experience of the deceased. Are you ready, Hornhead? Yes, please proceed. I don't know why I got my timeline mixed up and thought that wasn't Apollo. Huh. That's strange. Very well. Here are my interpretations of the facts as gleaned from the seance vision. And I must say, Raifa's very good at this, even though she's obviously wrong a lot every time. To put together something as concise as she does every time in a matter of seconds is very impressive. Someone attempted to assassinate Queen Amara by setting her residence ablaze. Hornhead's father happened to stop by and was knocked out by the assassin. Dirk's fingerprints were discovered on the lighter found at the scene of the crime. That is how he was determined to be the assassin. Hornhead's father tried to save his son, but sadly he perished in the attempt. That is everything the deceased experienced in his final moments. My father's final memories. They're right here for everyone to see, but can any of them unlock the truth behind what happened 23 years ago? Oh, well, I saw one thing. Where's the fingers? Yes, fingerprints. Let's go look to the mirror, because I think that guy was wearing gloves. I'll just take this moment to slowly walk through this. Yeah, we can see gloves there.
Objection!
There we go. Yeah, that was easy enough.
Dirk's fingerprints were discovered on the lighter that was found at the crime scene. However, the hand holding the lighter in the seance vision appears to be gloved.
I believe you're right. What could this mean?
It calls into question whether the hand in the vision really was Dirk's. If only we could make out the details a little better.
Very well. I will attempt to focus a bit more on what the deceased saw. Perhaps that will refine the seance vision. Ah, that's the thing that Amara has to wear all the time, isn't it? Wait, no, it's not. It's the thing that Inga has to wear all the time. I forgot. It does seem there was a glove on that hand. Still, what significance could that have?
It means that Dirk's fingerprints got on the glider at some other time. Somebody could have even put them on there after the fire.
All you have is pure speculation, while the fact remains that they are his fingerprints. Therefore, it stands to reason that Dirk was the one who used the lighter.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It just means I have to prove that figure in the vision is someone else, using the information in my father's final memories.
Either way, it seems that I must revise my insights. Did I have a piece of information about the cuffs sleeve things? I don't recall.
Okay, she's updated her insights. Time to go over them and see if there are any new inconsistencies to be found. But I need to check the court record first. See if I have the thing we talked about in the dialogue. I don't remember where it was, though. I mean, they're in this photo, but that's... I don't know if that's what we want to use. No description there. Nothing there. And I don't think anything's in here either. I think I just had to use the crime photo. Alright. Well, fast forward a bit. Can I present this? I can't. How do I probe? I forgot. How do I probe? I don't remember. Okay, hold on. Well, I mean, the gloves. I mean, we do know who it belongs to. It's right there. Oh, I'm talking in Apollo voice. Oops. Okay, I guess we can't probe yet. I think I just had to present here on the site.
Objection!
Because we know whose that is. Nope, okay, that's not it. Well, if that is the case, then how do I want to go about this? If someone put his prints on the lighter after the fact, then we know not to whom it belongs, and I cannot present evidence. Let's fast forward then. That is the end of the seance. Yeah, well, I know who it belongs to because I know that cuff. But I can't select it for some reason. Isn't that so strange? I mean, this feels like the perfect situation to use it, too. Okay, you know, maybe we look for just a completely different insight, yeah? Someone attempted to assassinate Queen Amara by setting her residence ablaze. Well, wouldn't you know it? That is completely correct, because we can see Amara there, and we can see the place is on fire. Her Apollo's father happened to stop by and was knocked out by the assassin. That is also correct. Lurk's fingerprints were discovered on the ladder at the scene of the crime. Well, there are gloves being worn, but apparently that does not matter. But if someone had put his prints on the lighter after the fact, then we know not to whom it belongs. Do I present this? Because isn't this what I just did, actually? I think that's what I just did. Okay, well, why don't we just watch this a little bit more? Yeah, and then he reaches out, and then he falls, and then everything fades out because he's dead. Well, yeah, it seems to be this, and we do know who it belongs to. I just don't know why it did not work. Amara does not seem to be wearing the thing we saw. In fact, she is not standing behind us, so that's not possible. There. You see, we do know who it belongs to because we can see the cuffs. And I don't remember if I just presented this or not. If I did present this just now, and I do it again, I'm going to look crazy. And if I didn't do it, well, I mean, then I should just do it. Okay, let's just do it.
Objection!
Okay, that's it. What did I present before? I didn't even realize. Oh, I don't remember. Wait. Then this means that the real culprit is... the figure in the vision is clearly not Dirk. The distinctive band around their wrist gives their true identity away. That design... It can't be. This will prove just whose hand was captured in the Seance vision.
Take that!
That photo. So you do believe the culprit to be? Justice Minister Inca had cuffs with the exact same pattern on them. You're referring to the cuffs of justice, correct? Yes. I hear they're a traditional part of a Kurainese justice minister's attire. But what does this tell us? Well, actually it tells us that's not Inga, it's Garan, because Garan was the justice minister at the time, as I recall. It tells us that the figure in this vision is none other than Kuraini's late Minister of Justice, Inga Karkul Kurain. No, not my father. So, he plotted the assassination of the former queen, as well as the current one. Justice Minister Inga? So then, Dirk's innocent of both charges? The Defiant Dragons, they've been right all along. Oh, is this going to be Nayuta? There we go. Nayuta? Are you going to point out the obvious for me, since I don't know? What you've proposed is not possible, Apollo. For back then, Inga Karkul Kurain was not the Minister of Justice. What? The Justice Minister 23 years ago was... you, Queen Garan. What? Oh, right. She served as Minister of Justice before succeeding the throne. I guess she also prosecuted the assassination attempt 23 years ago as one. So then, the figure in this vision is actually... Your Eminence. It's you, isn't it? This is madness. Why would Her Eminence do such a thing? Because she would ascend to the throne. She wanted to usurp the throne from her sister Amara? That's why she tried to assassinate her? Okay, now we're getting into it. I feel like I've said that twice now. I find all this very hard to swallow. Your Eminence, are you the one responsible for tearing my family apart? And was it you who killed my father? Well, Your Eminence, I'm asking you a question.
Insolence!
Peasants. Always carrying on about things of no import. You do not deny it then? You concealed the truth and used me for your own designs? Oh, Nayuta, spare me your feeble-minded line of questioning. Even if Dirk were cleared of all charges, it shall still be I who decides Rafa's fate. You do wish for her to be queen someday, do you not? Remember, the child lives only by my good graces. Now, kneel before me and fill your end of the bargain by offering me your head. Your Eminence, I am done heeding your commands. Even as you used my sister against me, I still believed you. I believed that protecting your secrets was in the best interest of this kingdom. But you've been deceiving me all the while. Nayuta! Nayuta, you dare defy me? Your Eminence, I can turn the other cheek no more. Therefore, I hereby retract my confession in the murder of Justice Minister Inga. Retract, you say? Oh, finally. I mean, there wasn't even evidence that placed you in the crime scene.
Dirk, the final piece of evidence you left behind, has released Nayuta from his suffering, and now he's finally free.
Oh. What did he have? Does he have something beneath it? And all this time, not once did I reflect on my own conduct, for I had believed it was fate. Lost in my own sense of resignation, I was unable to wake from my despair. But you, Apollo, you had awakened me with your demonstration of our Father's creed. Oh, say it. Yes, say it.
A
Dragon never yields. There we go. I will carry on Dirk's legacy and fulfill his dream. Hear me, Garin. I will cast you down from your bloody throne. Long live the revolution! Oh, now make sure you don't start with violence. You start by getting her, guilty. Ah, insolent fool! Now even you prattle on about revolution? Ah, there they go. I was waiting for that. Would you look at that? Well, Apollo, it seems we're finally making some headway down the road Dirk carved out for us.
Yeah. Now, if we could just prove Garin's guilt, we could continue down that road, towards the revolution Dirk dreamed of.
Your Eminence, you have been accused of the crime committed 23 years ago. Would you like to say anything in your defense? Not so fast, your Majesty, for the cuffs could have been stolen and used without my knowledge. So, you see, they can hardly be considered proof of anything. Why, I believe you're right.
But we know she's guilty.
Well, lawyer, is there any other evidence you would have me refute?
Unfortunately, this photo was the last piece of evidence Dirk left for me. So, as far as evidence goes, I've got nothing else regarding the case from the past. However, now that Prosecutor Samadi has retracted his confession, we'll have to redeliberate the current case from scratch.
Yes, the defense speaks the truth. Even though it is clear to who the guilty party is.
Queen Garin? The defense accuses you of the murder of Justice Minister Inga Karkul Kurain.
Well, but do you have any evidence, defense?
Evidence that will prove Garin was the killer?
There is still one more avenue for us to explore, Mr. Justice.
There is? Remind me, which ones have we already done?
Minister Inga's final memories. In them, the minister's killer posed as Dirk. Therefore, one must ask, How did the killer dispose of their disguise?
Well, hey, you're right. Wait, I thought we talked about this already. They burned it, right? A lot of blood would have been splattered onto the killer. So the blood-soaked clothes would have to have been dealt with somehow. If they're still around somewhere, then...
I was wondering what absurd idea you'd concoct next. Clothing can be disposed of most anywhere. I doubt you could find them now. Then you don't know us very well. Your benevolence. Yes? On the day of your father's murder, you had been watching the courtyard from 2 p.m. Now, during that time, you saw Queen Garin, did you not? Yes, I did. I saw my mother entering the palace from the courtyard. But I was told not to mention it because it had nothing to do with my father's murder. But, Rafa, you would not dare! When the queen headed into the palace, did she have Dirk's clothes in her possession? No, she did not.
So, maybe she disposed of them somewhere in the courtyard.
The police did a thorough sweep of the area following the crime, but they did not find anything resembling Dirk's clothes. But you knew that already, didn't you, prosecutor? Yes, I admit no clothing was found. So, you admit you were merely speculating, chasing phantoms and delusions of evidence that never existed.
This makes no sense. Clothing doesn't just disappear like that.
If Garin wasn't carrying the clothes, she must have gotten rid of them somewhere. Somewhere where she thought they'd never be found.
Where'd they never be found, huh? I believe Dirk's clothes were hidden here.
They were in the tomb, right? Didn't they get burnt? Because the gemstone was in the burner? Right? That's what it was, yeah? The tomb? You believe the clothing was hidden there?
Yes, it's the only place it can be.
Very well. Where in the tomb do you believe the clothes were hidden? In the incense burner, right? Right? Oh my! You believe it? Okay, well, I guess I was wrong. Well, a last minute game over kills the momentum just a little bit. But I mean, would this really be one of my Ace Attorney streams if I didn't game over at least once?
This trial may have proven Dirk's innocence, but we failed to prove who Minister Inga's true killer was. And the truth of what happened 23 years ago will remain shrouded in mystery. It was all because we failed to prove Garin's guilt. Huh? Oh, after that trial, we were forced underground in order to escape Garin's agents. And I joined Nayuta and the Defiant Dragons in their efforts to overthrow Garin. A dragon never yields. We fight on with Dirk's creed in our hearts, and dream of the day revolution comes to Kurain.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm really surprised and somewhat impressed that this game features multiple bad endings. I remember, like, getting the bad ending back in, what was it, the second game? And that was really cool. So it's nice that they have a few more of those. Anyway, the other spot is the sarcophagus, yeah? She just put it on Dirk? Right? I mean, the shirt does not have bullet holes in it, so that's probably it. How did I not realize that? Huh.
Of course! That makes perfect sense. The clothes weren't simply hidden, they were returned to where they belonged.
Ah! And by that you mean...
The killer would have had to get Dirk's clothes from somewhere.
Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about, the bullet holes. I guess she just took them.
Luckily, they were right there.
Yes, of course. At the time of the minister's murder, Dirk's body was already in the sarcophagus, so the killer could have simply borrowed his clothes.
Right. Before the minister entered the tomb, the killer put on Dirk's clothes, and then hid behind the curtain above the sarcophagus. And after the minister was killed, Dirk's clothes were returned to his body.
Hey, I was right about someone hiding in the sarcophagus. It just took a while to get to it.
So what? This is all still speculation. We know not whether those clothes were actually used in the murder. Therefore, you cannot prove that they are that they are somehow connected to this case. That's where you're wrong. But I believe you already knew that. These clothes were definitely used during the minister's murder because of this.
I mean, I don't see bullet holes, but do we just assume there's bullet holes in there? There is 3 splotches. Okay, maybe I was right. Okay, I guess I was wrong. Okay, I just wanted to double check. I'm not gonna bother reading that. They put a long message there, so presumably they thought people were gonna get that wrong. The clothes were definitely used during the minister's murder because of... I don't know, is it the butterfly? I mean, that's the only other thing I can think of. The badge isn't there, but that's normal, right? But how would the butterfly prove that it took place during the murder? A locket found at the crime scene that belongs to Amara. Did we ever figure out whose fingerprint that is? I don't think we did. But I think it is a butterfly, right? Yeah. The bloodstains on Dirk's chest are no doubt the result of being shot by the minister. However, that doesn't explain everything. Ooh, man. There's also some blood splatter extending from his left elbow to his abdominal area. That is not what I clicked on, but I guess that's fine. I believe this blood splatter came from Inga Karkul Kurain. If the killer wore these clothes during the murder, then the blood splatter must have come from Minister Inga. Huh? I had thought it was all Dirk's, but that makes sense too. Only one way to be sure, though. Let's get those stains analyzed right away. Indeed, this may be the only conclusive evidence we need to prove the Queen's guilt. You cannot prove it was I who hid those clothes. They could very well have been hidden by a third party. But could they really? I'd say the possibility of someone other than Garin hiding the clothes doesn't exist. No, it's just not possible. Your Eminence, I recall you saying the following. The key to Amara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Therefore, it would be impossible for someone to some knave to open it. She did say that. Ugh. That was your own testimony, word for word. Why, you... insolent. Admit it. Only you could have hidden Dirk's clothes after they were used in the murder. And that means you are the one who killed Justice Minister Inga. Insignificant worm. You dare accuse me, the ruler of Kurain? Do not think for one moment that such impudence would be tolerable. No, I'm afraid such arguments are invalid here in this sacred hall, Your Eminence, because even monarchs aren't above the law. Ugh. It's the end of the line for you, Queen Garin. Time to come down from that lofty throne and face justice! Oh, is she gonna have a proper breakdown, or is it gonna be flashback style? Me? Face justice? Surely you jest. You are in no position to force my hand, lawyer. Oh? Surely you haven't forgotten about the Defense Culpability Act? Those who would support the criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In short, should I be convicted of murdering my husband,
your dear brother, who delivered false testimony in my defense, shall also be found guilty. What? That can't be. Can it? By delivering false testimony in the course of protecting a guilty party, you would certainly be judged by this court as having supported a criminal. Forget for a moment that I have the right to determine whether or not to enforce the act. And the Defense Culpability Act would most definitely come into play. But that law is so broad that anyone could be convicted under it. When it comes to the DC Act, even I am conflicted. And yet, as it currently stands, it is the law of the land. And as you said earlier, no one is above the law. Of all the absurd things I've seen, this law really takes the cake. Now what? What can we even do at this point? Heh. You need not look so forlorn. Dirk has been cleared of all charges. So let's leave all thoughts of the real killer and revolution in the past where it belongs. She just wants us to let her off scot-free? And yet, I don't see any other choice. We cannot yield to her here, Apollo. If it will move the revolution forward, I will gladly face the DC Act. Now, do it! Accuse Queen Garin of the crime she has committed. But...
Such insolence!
What you speak of is not revolution. Our kingdom will not function without its sovereign. And Rafa cannot ascend to the throne, for she is as of yet, incapable of channeling spirits. Thus, to accuse me is to wish destruction upon our fair kingdom, you terrorist. The terrorist? If you would still insist on accusing me, then as ruling sovereign of Khura'in, I proclaim the following. I really don't think you know how revolution works, or even I don't know how revolution works. All who imperil the crown, no matter the reason, shall be subject to immediate execution upon the Queen's orders. What? Immediate execution? Do you still not comprehend? Then let me be clear. For the sake of this kingdom's future, and in accordance with the laws of Khura'in, I command that you be put to death at once. Okay, so this is the part where we need the revolutionaries to bust in and help us, right? Because this is not how revolution works, yeah? If... Oh, what the... Oh, it's a cutscene, I had to voice it, hold on. Oh... isn't this going a bit too far? Why is the Garin Royal Guard... They were on standby in case of an attack by foolishly optimistic terrorists. Now, if you would continue to oppose me, the very embodiment of the law, then, under my regal authority, you shall all be put to death. Oh, we got a voice laugh.
Objection!
Oh, come on! This is insane, even for you! You can't possibly get away with something like this. This is a court of law. You can't just order our execution without due process. Now, look, Apollo. Truth and due process are certainly important, but so is your life. So think before you speak again. But... Yeah, no. I mean, so she wants to maintain the kingdom, but this is literally the worst thing you could do if you're trying to maintain it. Please, Apollo, do not make this any worse than it already is. I cannot lose you to the Twilight Realm too. What am I supposed to do? How do I win against an opponent that can rewrite laws as she sees fit? How can I ever bring her to justice? Is this really how it all ends? Okay, so there's two options here. Either the revolutions bust in and help us, or we point out that she is violating the DC Act by doing this, or maybe the guards are. I mean, everyone in the room is violating it, really, if we really want to get down to it. So, I mean, you know, let's see which way it pans out. It is your life or your accusation, lawyer. You cannot hope for both. It is time to cease this insanity. What do I do? Should I accuse Queen Garin? Oh, of course you should.
After all, she is the accused, and if she's found guilty, then all those who help her are guilty as well.
I know what I have to do. Mr. Wright, you know that saying you're constantly reminding me and Athena of? The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles?
You never fail to surprise me, Apollo.
And Nayuta, you know that creed we've known ever since we were kids? A dragon never yields? Apollo, they are not merely words. They are what's carried us this far. So now it's time to honor these words and the memories of the ones who gave them to us.
I couldn't agree with you more, Apollo. Those words are more important to me than you know. And if there's any time to remember them, it's now. It would seem, Apollo, that not one, but two auspicious creatures dwell deep within you. A fierce dragon and a virtuous phoenix that shall scatter the clouds hiding the heavens. I shall join you in your death-defying bluff.
I think I finally understand what those words really mean, and the resolve they embody.
Are you smiling? Even in the face of certain doom? Is there no end to your defiance?
Unfortunately for you, no. I won't let fear, or even the law, force me to abandon the pursuit of the truth. Because there is another saying in my country, the truth will set you free.
Indeed. That is precisely what Dirk sought to do through this trial. He wished for us to break free from certain despicable spiders immobilizing silk threads. We won't be intimidated by unjust laws, or give in to fear. Abandoning the truth like that is just not part of my playbook. There is only one path before us. Revolution. The time to make Dirk's dream a reality is upon us.
Your Eminence, if you are the law here in Khura'in, then your very existence is wrong.
Does your desperate bleating know no end? I know it's a bit late to ask, but what's the plan?
Well, if Garn is going to execute us on the spot under the Defense Culpability Act, the law itself derives its power from the authority of the Crown. And there's only one thing to do. We dethrone her. Right here, right now.
All right, but how? It's not like we have a lot of time to come up with a way to do that either. I doubt she'll allow you to perform another cross-examination while we think.
And don't worry, I've come up with something. We'll be fine. We can't give up. Not now. We have to keep on fighting to the end. We can't allow these broken trials to go on. It's time to make things right.
Oh, okay, here we go. Not mind snowboarding.
If I accuse Garin, Nayuta will be subject to the Defense Culpability Act, which means he will be put to death in accordance with the law. So the only way out of this is to dethrone Garin right now. Could this be the key to dethroning Garin?
Oh, huh. Well, I was not expecting any of these to be the way. I was expecting to, not wordplay her, but, assault her with our legal prowess by utilizing the DC Act, which she will probably refuse to rescind no matter what. In which case, we have two things here that could be. It could be Rafa, it could be the Founder's Orb. I am going to go ahead and sit. Oh, I figured it out. We need Rafa to use the Founder's... Well, no, we need Maya to use the Founder Orb to give Rafa power. Is that it? In which case, all of these are the right thing. So, let's start with the Founder's Orb.
Dirk was convinced that the orb is the key to revolution and Khura'in's future. In light of Garin's obsession with the orb, it makes a large amount of sense. She probably doesn't want anyone using it to gain spiritual powers and rights to the throne. Inga definitely tried to do just that, but that's where it starts to fall apart. Inga couldn't have channeled the Founder even after abducting Miss Faye, because only the Queen can channel. He didn't know the Founder's name. The name of the Founder is only known to those who become Queen. That means the only people who currently know her name are Garin and Amara. So even if someone else had the orb, they wouldn't be able to channel the founder. So that begs the question, why is Garin so fixated on the orb? Okay, let's not overthink this. Garin is obsessed with the orb because... Can she not channel spirits? I mean, I wasn't expecting that, but I suppose that works. Could it be? It's hard to believe, but... If she wants spiritual power, does that mean Garin can't channel spirits? That would explain why she had Amara perform the rite of channeling. Is that why she let Amara live? To stand in for her when the time came to channel spirits? So, if Garin can't channel spirits, she'd have no claim to the throne. Wow, this went in a completely different direction than I was thinking. Garin's Defense Culpability Act was established under the Crown's authority. But if she has no claim to the throne, then the DC Act would become null and void. No, not just the DC Act. All the insane laws she's enacted would be swept away in one fell swoop. You claim the authority of the Crown? You, of all people? That's a good one.
Have you truly lost it, lawyer? Indeed. I would have the defense explain himself at once.
It's easy, Your Majesty. Why is Queen Garin so obsessed with the Founder's Orb? Why did she let Queen Amara live? And why was she having her mercifulness perform the rite of channeling in her place? The answers to these three questions point to a single conclusion. A fact that will shake the kingdom to its very core.
I still do not follow, Apollo.
Your Eminence, I have just one question for you, and please, be honest. You can't actually channel spirits, can you?
Huh?
What?
You believe the Queen is not capable of communing with the dead? The defense will explain himself, at once!
In Khura'in, the ability to channel spirits is an absolute requirement for a would-be queen. But, Your Eminence, if you were incapable of doing that, then you'd have no claim to the throne. Not only that, but every law you've passed would be rendered null and void.
You...
And you, the Garin Royal Guard. You seem to be rather enamored with the Queen's supposed spiritual power, but what if she had none? What if she were just an ordinary person, a pretender to the throne?
That's crazy talk. Impossible. Everyone knows only spirit mediums can become queen. This is such blasphemy. On what grounds do you make such a defamatory claim?
Queen Garin, if you think I'm just out to defame you, then prove it. Prove it to us by using this piece of evidence you want so badly. All the conditions for summoning the Founder should be in place. With the orb, we know what the Founder looks like. And as Queen, you should know the Founder's name. Ugh. Now, if you would, Your Eminence, please show us the great spiritual power you bear as a Grand Priestess of Khura'in.
Oh, to witness Her Eminence's great power with our own eyes? The Holy Mother will appear before us? Oh, great miracle of miracles! Praise be Your Eminence! May your mighty spiritual power show us the way! Urdi Haragaran. Enough! Enough, I say, you mindless cretins! Your Eminence? Can it be that you cannot? No, no! I want a lawyer. Summon one at once.
Aren't you forgetting something? There aren't any lawyers left in Khura'in. You can thank your Defense Culpability Act for that.
Ah! Your Eminence! Please, give us a glimpse of your magnificent spiritual power. Summon Her Holiness, so she may guide us. I have heard enough from you. Out of my sight, all of you.
If you truly are capable of channeling spirits, then get on with it already, Your Eminence.
Ugh! You sneaky, underhanded wretch of a lawyer.
That reminds me. You said something to this effect earlier. It is time to cease this insanity. Don't you feel stupid for saying that now? Indeed, of all the things she has said, I can think of nothing more ludicrous. Apollo, teach this deceitful, putrid queen a lesson so she won't soon forget. Gladly, because it really is time to cease this insanity. Garin, your reign of terror ends here. Ah! You... Ah. Very well. Demonstrating my facility as a spirit medium is simple enough. Behold, the magnificent power to commune with the dead. Oh, your eminence! Oh, what's she gonna do, I wonder? I'm very interested. O great spirits of the Founder who dwells within the Twilight Realm, heed the secret covenant of the orb, and appear here before us. Oh, here it comes. Is she... what's wrong? Are you not feeling well? Ha! Oh, spirit of the great Founder, the time is now, I beseech you. Appear before us. Heed my call. Founder, please. Man, she didn't even practice the dance. I thought she would have at least done that if she was gonna fake it like this. No, wait, I was just warming up. The rite actually starts from now. Look. Holy. May I ask, what is her motive? Oh, it would seem that... Oh, is it back? Are we back? Oh, sorry, judge voice. Are we back? I think we're back now. Sorry about that. I don't even know what happened there. Yeah, no, nothing on my graphs say that the internet went out. Huh. I think that's a Twitch error. And what, may I ask, was her motive? I understand that she killed Minister Inga in order to prevent his coup d'etat. But what of her attempt to assassinate Queen Amara 23 years ago? To become queen herself? Maybe she just craved power and attention. She likely developed a psychological complex from her inability to channel spirits. That is why she kept Queen Amara alive to perform the rite of channeling for her. In that way, it would seem as if she had great spiritual power. In short, she built a cult of personality upon fear and lies. Then again, do not all tyrants? So then, she never really intended to kill Amara, huh? What I don't understand is why Queen Amara even listened to Garin in the first place. Especially 14 years ago, before Rayfa was even being held hostage. Why would she keep letting the people of Khura'in think she was dead? While she kept quietly performing the rite of channeling for Garin. My mother is a gentle soul by nature, and loves her sister dearly. So, when Garin told her to hide because Dirk was out to kill her, she believed it. What's more, she did not wish to tarnish this name of her beloved sister. That is why she acquiesced so obediently to Garin's request to keep channeling for her. Until she fled with Dirk and was told the truth, that is. So, that's what happened. And since Rayfa was being held captive, I imagine Amara had no choice but to help cover up the truth behind Inga's murder. Yeah, living secretly as Rayfa's servant Nina, no doubt only deepened her love for her daughter. She'd do anything to keep her safe. All the more reason to hide the painful truth from her. Well, that was the case for the ages. Prosecutor Sanmati has been cleared of all suspicion in the murder of Minister Inga, as has Mr. Dirk Sanmati in the assassination attempt on Queen Amara.
Well, didn't that all get nice and wrapped up in a bow? I suppose not. Amaru's still hospitalized. Now then, I think it is high time I handed down my verdict on Dirk and Nayuta Sanmati. Not guilty. Ah, there you go. The final not guilty of the game. Final not guilty of probably... Oh, actually, I suppose there is one more. We're doing the bonus chapter. We'll talk about that in a second. But man, what a journey, huh? I started playing Phoenix Wright so many years ago, and I never got to the end of the series. But look at this. We're just about there. I mean, in some ways, this is the end of the main story of, you know, Apollo and Phoenix. Obviously, Chronicles and Investigations and the Layton crossover, which the Layton crossover is something for me to do on my own time, on my DS, because I have it there. But, you know, like I said, we can talk about what we're doing going forward after this. Dirk, I hope you're watching. I proved your innocence. Nayuta's smiling again, and that revolution you've always dreamed of is finally happening. With this, may I finally say, this court is adjourned. There we are. Out of the courtroom for the last time, into the accused room for the last time. And I suppose I should take this moment to say something I've been thinking about since the very first time I set foot here. The butterfly in Mitama on the wall looks like a wrestling mask. It does. And I've thought about that every time we've entered this room. In fact, every time we've entered this room, I have been staring at it, almost constantly, looking away only to read the text. I just thought I should get that out there before we end things, because it's coming up, well, I would say within 30 minutes, probably. At least the end of the game. We can talk more after that a bit. Way to go, Apollo! I was on the edge of my seat when those guards stormed in the courtroom. That was a shocker, all right. Can't imagine anything like that happening back home. I know, right? I was ready to go on down there and teach them a lesson myself. Really? I was barely able to hold her back. Hold me back? You were about to go ballistic after a while there, Athena. Yeah, well, I was thinking about helping you smack a few of them down, to be honest. Remind me to never say or do anything to deserve a Maya Athena double suplex. You did a fine job out there today, Apollo. Thanks for all the great advice, Mr. Wright. Nah, it was all you. That perseverance and never say die attitude you showed was impressive. I actually learned a thing or two myself. What? From me? That's a laugh. There were any number of times where I wouldn't have blamed you for giving up. But you stuck it out to the end and came away triumphant. By sheer force of will, and inner strength forged in countless trials, you overcame the most desperate and hopeless situation I've ever seen. I don't know about all that. I mean it. You've really come a long way, Apollo. I have nothing but respect for your abilities as an attorney. Really? Aren't you exaggerating just a little bit, Mr. Wright? You did it, Apollo. You finally won his seal of approval. But what about me, Nick? My channeling's come a long way too. After all, I was deemed worthy enough to be used in 2 major crimes already. Yeah, and 2 major chances for me to become someone for you to channel next. Honestly, I couldn't have done this without the support of each and every person here. Mr. Wright, Athena, Nayuta, and of course, Dirk. That was pretty cool. Oh, Trucy. Oh man, Trucy, Athena, and Maya in one conversation. Oh man, you are not going to be able to tell the difference between any of these people whenever I'm voicing them. That was pretty cool, Polly. Trucy? Trucy, what are you doing here? It's magic. By the way, I'm afraid she'd employ the old let's stow away Mr. Edgeworth's suitcase trick. What? Though it certainly explained why my suitcase was so heavy. Tell me you at least noticed it was heavier than usual.
Trucy, do you even have a passport? My magic panties are an extra-dimensional space. It's like a mini-universe in there. I could produce a passport at the drop of my hat. Right. You know, I somehow don't doubt it. Maybe some things in this world are better left a mystery, though. Hornhead, Barbed Head, I am forever in your debt for what you've accomplished in the Hall of Justice. Without your presence, I may never have changed as I have this day. It's pathetic, I know. That's where you're wrong, your benevolence. It was you who changed yourself. Only you could choose to defy Garin, and that decision was yours and yours alone. That's right. All we did was present you with an opportunity, and you made use of it with gusto. This victory is yours, your benevolence. You should be proud of yourself. I see. So, I am worthy of my title after all. Ha! Ha ha ha! I shall work to heal our kingdom so that it may know peace and prosperity once more. She sure bounced back quick. So, your benevolence, I take it you learned the truth of your origins? That you are the daughter of Dirk and Queen Amara? Yes, my mother, Her Eminence, told me. She said it was part of my disciplining. If you can call it that. Sounds more like blackmail. Keep quiet or I'll tell everyone you're the daughter of a criminal. My mother was so insufferable. Or should I say my former mother? Sounds like there was no love lost there. But you cleared Dirk's name. My true father will no longer be known as a criminal. Therefore, I have nothing more to fear. So, what's next for the Kingdom of Khura'in? You lost your queen, so... who's this? Her benevolence, Princess Mrafa, will ascend to the throne. Ah, okay, it was Nayuta. Nayuta? But she can't channel spirits yet, right? Indeed. Which is why I will act as regent on her behalf. Until the day she comes into her own. Yes, your help will be greatly appreciated, Prosecutor Sod... Is she going to say what I think she is? Should I do the cringe thing and say it the way it was probably written in the original Japanese? Oh, let's do it. Let's embarrass myself. What are you looking at, you horn-headed nincompoop? Hey! In any event, I'll be assisted by Nayuta and Queen Amara for the time being. Oh, I don't have to embarrass myself. She isn't going to say it. That's... Queen Amara? Our country offers counsel to the rulers of neighboring kingdoms through channeling. It is the duty I intend to fulfill myself one day. But for now, I will have Queen Amara assist me in that capacity. So then, she's going to be alright? Yes, it seems the bullet went straight through her without doing any serious damage. That's a relief. Hey, you did it, AJ! Thanks to you, both Dirk and Nayuta beat the charges against him. And you got the revolution rolling to boot. The revolution? Dirk. I guess you were right to believe in me after all. Yes, sir, there's going to be some major changes around here. The legal system's going to return to its rightful state, like how Dirk always wanted. And the name of Apollo Justice will go down in Khura'in East history. Yeah, right. Oh, Nayuta, before I forget, there was something I wanted to give you before I head back home. You wish to give me something? Yeah, as Dirk's birth son, I thought you should have this.
Take that!
This is Dirk's. I had to get back to the States, and I know you're a prosecutor and all. But as the man that's going to change Khura'in, it's only right that you have it. To change Khura'in. Yeah, in Dirk's place. Apollo, I am afraid I must refuse your gift. What? Why? There is something I would like to show you. Uh-huh? What's this all of a sudden? Does he have his own badge?
Mr. Wright, won't you and your friends please join us? Oh, sure. I wonder what this is.
So why'd you bring us here, Nayuta?
Apollo, I want you to stay here in Kurain.
What? But why?
We have lost our queen, and our kingdom stands at a crossroads. Most of all, we will need to rebuild our entire legal system. Naturally, that includes the reintroduction of lawyers to the court.
Wait, you're not asking me to...
Yes, I want you to take over this law office. With you as a lawyer, and me as a prosecutor, we shall rebuild Kurain's legal system from the ground up.
You want me to help you rebuild the legal system? That's a lot to take in.
Apollo, I cannot do this without you. As a lawyer, you are Dirk's spiritual heir. And having studied in America, your legal knowledge will be indispensable.
This is way out of my league.
The revolution is still in its infancy, but it was Dirk's dream to restore the legal system to its rightful state. Will you not help me realize that dream? Come on, AJ. You know it's what Dirk would have wanted. Let's do it together. You must be taken aback by my sudden request, but please, give it some thought.
Of course. I'm honored that you asked, but still, I have my job back at the Right Anything Agency to consider too.
Don't you worry about that, Apollo. Besides, this is something only you can do.
Something only I can do?
I mean, to be completely honest, our office would be a bit short on firepower without you around, but hey.
Mr. Wright.
Actually, I'm sorry, but I can't get on board with this.
Athena?
I mean, there's still so much I want to learn from you, Apollo. That's right. It won't be the same without you, and everyone back home would really miss you too. There's no way I can agree to this. Still, if you really wanted to stay... Yeah, Athena's right. It won't be easy, but...
Athena, Trucy.
Apollo, no one but you can make this decision. Know that I will not question whatever choice you make. Our flight leaves tomorrow morning, Apollo. Think you can make up your mind by then?
I'll try. Talk about a difficult decision. Should I go back to the US and continue working at the Right Anything Agency? Or should I stay in Kurain and help Nayuta rebuild the legal system? What's the right thing for me to do?
I wonder, is this going to be something that Apollo decides for himself instead of the player input? I hope Apollo decides for himself. That would be much more narratively satisfying, in my opinion. The bus to the airport will be here any minute. I wonder where Apollo is. Do you think he decided to stay here in Kurain? I bet he was up all night thinking. This is a life-changing decision after all. But whatever he decides, I'll have to accept it. I guess this means no more courtroom battles alongside him. Hey, guys! I know that booming voice anywhere.
Whew. I made it.
Apollo, you're here. Does this mean you're coming home with us?
Well, about that. Mr. Wright?
Yes?
I've made up my mind.
Here it is, the moment of truth.
I still have so many things I want to learn from you. But I've decided to stay in Kurain.
You're staying? But
I feel like I have to pick up where Dirk left off. I can't let a sacrifice go to waste.
I see.
Plus... Ooh, that was a weird pause. I wanted to teach the others everything you've taught me about being a lawyer, Mr. Wright. Apollo. Dirk's roadmap for the future. And your teachings? I believe that these two things will save the people of this kingdom from further unrest. I wanted to do this. No, I have to do this. Apollo. I've never felt prouder. Proud to have such an amazing attorney working under me. But someday, I'll return to the U.S. Once the new legal system here is firmly in place, I'll be back. Scout's honor.
Will we really see you again, Apollo?
You bet. Not that I have any idea how long it'll be. But I promise you this, everyone. I'll keep on learning and growing. And I'll come back to the U.S. an even better lawyer. So don't you forget about me.
Of course we won't, Apollo. There will always be a spot waiting for you back at the office. In the meantime, we'll be rooting for you, so knock 'em dead.
You got it, Mr. Wright.
I'm gonna miss you, Polly. But if this is it, then I'm gonna support your choice all the way.
Thanks, Trucy. Good luck with your magic act. I know you'll do Troop Gramarye proud.
I'll be cheering for you too, Apollo. But don't think that you're the only one with a room to grow. The next time we meet, you probably won't even recognize me.
In other words, game on?
Ha! You bet. And I'm gonna win.
I'm gonna miss you too, Apollo. But I can't wait to see where your new adventure will take you.
Well, there's our bus. I guess this is it, Apollo.
I'll never forget everything you've done for me, Mr. Wright. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. Here's to seeing you back in the U.S. again someday. Until then, you know where to find me.
Oh, is that really the send-off? The legacy of those who came before us. Is handed down from parent to child. And from mentor to disciple. We must never stall or stagnate, but continue to grow and change. All that we've been taught, the beliefs and convictions that have been passed down to us, we must continue to nurture them so we, in turn, can pass them on to the next generation. Oh? Oh, cutscene. Okay. Honestly, I was expecting to go right into the credits.
Uh-huh. I always figured he'd leave the nest someday.
Ah, Edgeworth. You had so little involvement, but at least you were here.
I think they're almost here.
Just a little. Got it.
Oh, that's really bad.
Why don't we go and check it out, AJ?
Oh, there's Rafa. You know, I probably should have known this earlier, but I think Rafa's outfit in like the 2D animation is really weird looking because it's oddly shiny, and like that's kind of weird. And you know, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like silk or some other cloth. Oh, hello, Dirk. I was expecting you to show up. Honestly, I was expecting it to be like a Mia scene, where at the end we all hug and then we get a CG and you're there as a ghost. But that works too. And is that how it ends? Or rather, is that how we go to credits? I have things I'd like to say, and I know that the credits like to have auto-advancing dialogue in them, so yep, here it is. Go on, Mr. Hat, introduce yourself. I'm the amazing Mr. Hat. Nice to meet you. I wanted to take this opportunity to announce my solo debut. It seems Mr. Hat doesn't want Apollo to leave him in the dust. We're feast rivals, you know. Can't let him take the spotlight. It's just not the same without Polly, is it? Yeah, I kinda miss him too. I know, we should go visit him in Kurain. Okay, put a stop on the talking. We need to try and keep up these voice lines with these lines. After seeing Mr. Justice in action, I got to thinking,
What can I do for Kurain? Then it came to me, tourism. That's what. I'll deliver Kurain's tourism industry, and I'll roll out a night tour centered on the orb. Oh, and I can make a museum dedicated to Defiant Dragons. Boy, the ideas just keep on coming. Oh man, we're already falling behind. I mean, Albie talks a lot, so maybe the next one won't be as bad as that. Oh, come on. We've kept up with one, so you can keep up with the next. I want to congratulate you on becoming a forensic investigator, Detective Sky. Thank you, but Prosecutor Sanmati says he has need for me. So starting tomorrow, I'll be working in Kurain for a while. Look at it this way. I'm sure it'll be an educational experience. True. Plus I can't let that kid show me up, now can I? I'll see what I can do for the Kurain's revolution. Heh. Well, challenges have a way of... Oh, I'm looking forward to our next investigation upon your return. Ah, I can't keep up with them. I want to have good pacing, at least somewhat. Come on. Oh, I forgot about you two. Darn that forehead face. Ever since he revealed the secret behind her teleportation trick, show requests have totally dried up. Well, we'll be out on the street if we don't find some work soon. Maybe we should take Trucy up on her offer. She said we can make our debut as magicians at the Write Anything Agency. Shut up. I'm going to show her up someday. Nothing fires... Oh, okay, yep, couldn't even read that one at all. I completely forgot they were in this game. I thought they were in the previous game, because of how random the Japan-America trials are. At least that one was nice, somewhat, even if it kind of sullies the whole Gramarye legacy in this game. Kurain is just like this child right now, full of life and limitless possibilities. I have faith that Dirk and my darling Taurus will... Oh, have no fear. We'll see Dirk's legacy through to the end. And for at least, and just for Junior to be there, here's a secret. Behold, the Dats pose. Ooh-ah! Oh, that's the baby crying. Ha ha ha! Oh, come on, little guy. No need to be shy. Oh, come on. Go just a little bit slower, please. These voice line, well, these dialogue lines end as soon as they hit the end of the text box. I've been pulling double duty ever since Apollo left, but that's okay. I'm gonna make Simon recognize me for the awesome lawyer that I am. She's clicking in her boots. Widget, I can do it, and I will. Mr. Wright will be calling me his right-hand woman before you know it. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. We've gotten 2 of them all the way through without missing any lines. Come on, let's try and get at least 3. Oh, isn't that happening? Bucky, how dare you deliver me order in such a sorry state? Don't be mad, Simey. There was a huge mess at my shop yesterday. But, it should still be fine, I think. Look. You great big pillock. I just lost my appetite thanks to you. It's so hard to find good food these days. Wouldn't you say, old chum? Man, that went so fast I could barely get into the Blackquill voice. His takes a bit more effort than the others. Oh, you. That trial the other day really impressed me. I've even created a Rakugo routine based on it. It's a mystery story that'll keep flipping the audience's thinking on its head. It's called The Scary Udon Noodle. You're giving away too much of the title. Keeping the Tornado School going is our way of paying penance and repaying our debt to Shisho. That includes Rakugo training for that kid. What was that last line? What kid? I didn't see that last word. Oh, come on, there's gonna be like 2 of these left. I want to get at least one of them. Come on. Give me someone easy. Ha ha ha! With my newfound mobility, even ancient ruins and their fancy schmancy Tomb Raider traps are no match for me! Fire! The university where my father worked is letting me help with a dig. One day, I'll discover an unknown ancient civilization and dedicate it to him. I'll also be doing a dig on Kurain soon. That private justice had better not be slacking off. Hey, look at that, I got one. I even threw in an extra line in there. I'm going to be super busy now that I'm head of the Fae Clan. Don't worry, Mystic Maya. I'll do whatever I can to help. Thanks, Pearly. Our first order of business will be to revolutionize Kurain Village. Oh, I have an idea. How about opening a store where we can buy new outfits like the city girls? Well, Luca's all grown up now, but I think there are a few matters of more pressing importance. Yeah, you're right. I guess it'll be a while before I get my revolutionary makeover. I think I got that one. We'll call that one a half, okay? 'Cause I think I might have missed a line. So what's my score at right now? 3.5? I think so. Unless I'm misremembering. Mother! Mother! Now that you have stopped being Nina, I want a new Nina. I wonder if there would be anyone willing to serve you in that capacity. You are quite a handful after all. I am! With a simple wave of your hand, you would have your attitude changed, meals cooked. To think that I put such undue burden upon you. Fear not, Rafa. You have plenty of time in which to make amends. Perhaps you could start with one of your famous shoulder rubs. Okay, well, I definitely did not get that one. How many more characters are there to go through? You're not going to see anyone behind bars. Oh, Nayuta, right. Her benevolence has taken to calling me Braidhead. Even worse, she trembles and her face turns red when she sees me. What have I done to deserve such a thing? While it's true that I am merciless in the Hall of Justice, to be given such a dismissive name is entirely uncalled for. Oh, what am I to do? Perhaps I should consult Apollo about this. Ah, Braidhead, because it starts with a BR and she's trying to call him a brother. Luckily, she never said it, so I did not have to embarrass myself. In fact, though, with that being said, I actually did want to say it, so I probably will. If she shows up again. How's he doing, Mr. Wright? Great. He's a respectable lawyer in his own right. He even has his own practice called Justice Law Offices. Thank you. This wouldn't have been possible without you. Oh, before I forget, I made a copy of this photo for you. A photo? Oh! Jove. Huh. It is so good to see him again. Don't you think it's about time we told them the truth? After all, they've both grown into fine young people now. Yes, you're right. Perhaps it is time they knew. I was wondering when this was going to happen. There's no way to end this, like, the story of Apollo and Wright without covering this topic. Oh, well, I guess they aren't going to be covering that topic. It's just going to happen off screen, I guess. Oh, that's fine. Okay, what was it that I needed to talk about? I was going to talk about something before the credits, and then I got completely overwhelmed by trying to voice it all. Right, what we're doing. Because I was going to go on break for the rest of the year. That's not going to happen, by the way. Because I've been fed up with stuff that's happening in real life, and I want to stream, because it's fun. So, I'm going to try and stream every day until the end of the year. Which is not much, to be honest. But it's not my usual days, so I think it's quite a lot. We're going to get through the bonus chapter. Two streams maximum, unless the internet dies. Which was also the plan for this finale. Obviously, that didn't plan out. And then we're going to have the retrospection stream for the Ace Attorney games, including the ones that we did not play on stream, which are the first 3. We'll just be talking about it, ranking them, maybe throw in a tier list since people online seem to love those so much. And that's going to mark our break from Ace Attorney. I have not decided if we're going to do investigations here, but we will be doing Chronicles eventually. Layton, we're not doing on stream. That's just something that I'm going to do on my DS because I cannot be bothered to emulate it. And aside from that, so as you can probably see, I mean, unless it's just on my end, the stream's not handling things moving very well, yeah? It's been like that for a while, which is why we've not dropped, but put a hold on our more action-filled games, like Yakuza and Dark Souls. That would give me more room to talk instead of just voicing characters. And I'm hoping to resolve this by, I'd say, the first week of January. If it is, we're going to be getting back into those types of games where I can actually talk to you guys instead of just reading the entire time. Not to say reading isn't fun. In fact, it is very much fun. And if I don't pick up a new RPG to go alongside Yakuza and Dark Souls whenever we start those back up, I'm going to pick up a new visual novel. Or rather, if I can't get the stream working again, we're picking up a new visual novel. No clue what it would be at this point, but, you know, I have some in my sights. Worst case scenario, I drag someone else into it, and we do one that I've already played. As for other plans, I actually do have a lot of plans
plans that got canceled because the last half of this year has been kicking my butt. Hand cam, singing. I want to do those things, but I have not been able to. We will be doing them next year. I promise. It will happen before, the anniversary of 1 year streaming. Oh, cutscene. Let's shut up and watch this. Oh, is it not a cutscene? Well, it's already been a month since something happened. But it's covered by the photos, so I can't tell. Oh, here it is. We're reading it. Okay. Dear Mr. Wright. Oh, dear Mr. Wright. I can't believe it's already been a few months since I decided to stay. I'm sorry I haven't been good about keeping in touch, but things have been really hectic. Rebuilding a legal system I'm not yet familiar with has been a real challenge. But I will say, it's given me plenty of work to keep me busy. Oh, actual dialogue. Have you not given the autopsy report even a cursory glance, Mr. Justice? It's just, I have 15 clients on my plate right now. Though I probably shouldn't have accepted all 15 at the same time. Oh, please. Are you going to help me rebuild Kurain's legal system or not? If you are, we need to move through this case backlog faster. Yeah, I know, but... Besides, those 15 are only the beginning. There are 10 more awaiting your services. Uh-huh. I, too, have friends and acquaintances seeking legal representation. And being that you are the only lawyer in the country, I told them to contact you. I estimate it will only add up about 16 clients to your caseload. Uh-huh. Wait just 1 minute. I have been handing out advertisements as for your new office. They read, from legal advice to investigating extramarital affairs, even yak milking. For a limited time only, these services and more are free down at Justice Law offices. I have already received requests from 380 new clients. I'm gonna have to say something, aren't I? Oh, I know what's going to be said. I trust you did your Cords of Steel exercises this morning. Oh, I can't believe I forgot this is how they always end the game. Well, go on. There was no need to hold back. Ah, now that you mention it, we have yet to hear you shout today. Yes, and I have grown quite drowsy from these tedious proceedings. I could use some loud something to wake me up. Do not disappoint me, Horrid Head. There's really only one thing to say at a time like this. It's a word I've said countless times in my career, but one I'll never tire of. Oh, did they make you use the microphone during this? I think that's where the microphone button was on the DS. Objection! Ah, there it is. The end. And there's our little screen. Maybe we'll make that the thumbnail. Who knows? Who knows, really? Oh, and it kicks us right out to the menu, too. It doesn't even give us a chance to go into the special chapter. I suppose it is disconnected, yeah? Well, that was very fun. So what else did we have to say? Yeah, we're doing more streams, next year. We're going to be streaming every day until the end of this year. Oh, actually, that's not as impressive as I thought it was, considering there's only 2 days left. But Monday, Tuesday, I don't usually do those streams. So, do I have anything else to cover? I think I covered most of it during the, what's it called? During the credits. So, thank you all for tuning in. This has been Seagull Scuffed, and I am signing off.